Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? Today is visit number 4 of 13. So what are we talking about today? I know I told you before that it takes 3 legs to make a table stand. But when you want to make that table sturdy and stronger, you add a 4th leg. So here's the 4th leg of the table. Self-control. That's right. Self-control. Now, I know the first thing that comes into your mind when you talk about self-control is all the things that you may have to deny yourself. And yes, there is self-control to keep yourself out of harm's way of things that will hurt you, things that will damage you, things that will damage other people, damage your relationships, damage your finances. I mean, you have to show self-control of monitoring your finances to that point where you keep yourself from overpaying things, monitoring your credit so that you keep yourself from having higher interest rates, monitoring your relationships so that you keep yourself from creating a toxic environment within your relationships. Yes, you do have to do that. And when it comes to your fitness, your health, you have to show self-control of not eating the junk foods as often as you should. Not total denial, but not eating it as often so that you are exhibiting a self-control that gives you the health that you want. But guess what? Here's the main part. Here's the part. So many people do that. So many people can accomplish that because it's easier actually to deny yourself things, to tell yourself things you should not do and to deny yourself than it is for you to show the self-control to do the things that you are supposed to do and that you should do and that you have to do in order to hit the next level. That's more difficult because here's the thing, self-control says that when it is time for you to work out, you got to work out. See, every day life is going to throw you obstacles. If your goal is to work out in the morning, and guess what? Sometimes you're going to wake up late. Sometimes you're going to be rushed. Sometimes there's going to be traffic. Sometimes you're just going to have a bad morning. But you got to do it anyway. And if you can't do it that morning, then you have to say, I will do it this evening, after work, or at some other part of the day. And if you have plans throughout that day, then you still have to do it. It's the self-control that says that regardless of how my day goes, I'm going to accomplish this task because I know each time I accomplish the task, it leads me to my goal. I get a step closer to my goal. If you cannot exhibit that kind of self-control, you will hit a glass ceiling every time. You get to that point where you say, my body is plateauing, and that's when the excuses come into play. But here's the thing. You have to get rid of that and exhibit the self-control to achieve, not just the self-control to deny. You want to get better in your finances, then you have to exhibit self-control to know that you can't spend more than you make. You have to exhibit the self-control that says that not only can I not spend this more than I make, but the big self-control is I have to take a certain portion of my money to hold back for investments. That's right, investments, because you will never, ever become wealthy, become rich financially if you cannot take money that you earn, set it aside for investments so that it gives you a return, and then you keep on sending out those Marines to bring back more return. It won't happen unless you show the self-control to do so. You have to show the self-control to evaluate risk. You have to show the self-control to take a step out on opportunities. You have to show those levels of self-control to move, to do what's necessary. If you're in relationships with other people, then there are certain standards that are needed or necessary for that relationship to thrive. And if you want the relationship to get better, whether it's a business relationship, a family relationship, a romantic relationship, if you want those things to get better, if you want those things to hit a level that is fairy tale like, then you have to show the self-control to do what's necessary, to do the things that are needed to make sure that that relationship has the ability to grow. You know, it's kind of like if a farmer came out and planted a seed, if he just let nature handle it, he may get a good crop, he may not get a good crop. But that farmer knows that he has to show the self-control to get up every day and go out and cultivate the crop. He has to go out and water the crop. He has to go out and protect it, pull up the weeds, keep the birds away, do whatever is necessary in order to protect the crop so that it can yield a harvest. If he does that, then there's a higher guarantee that he will receive a greater harvest. And that's what you want in your life, to receive a greater harvest. You know, we say things like, I will have all things more abundantly. But you can't have it without self-control, because what is it? You have a spirit of power, love, and of sound mind, which also means self-control. So if you want to go higher, if you want to be better, if you want to live the life that you dream about, if you want to live the life that you see other people living, then you got to show at minimum the level of self-control that they show. Because let me tell you, it's not luck. It's not luck. There are more new millionaires in this world than there are old millionaires in this world, meaning that more people became millionaires than there are people who inherited wealth in this country and around the world. So it is not I fell upon the lucky star. And yes, some people have greater advantages than you. So get over it, because it's only about you. This is your life. You have this life to live. What are you going to do about it? What level of self-control are you going to display that's going to give you what you say you desire? So hey, just to recap the 4 legs of the table: empty yourself so that you can be available for new information, so that you can change the way you think, change the way you live your life, the way you perceive everything. Have a defined purpose. You got to know what it is that you're trying to achieve and why. But primarily, you got to know why first, and then we worry about the how and the what. And then you have to have applied faith. You have to have an assurance, not a hope that you're going to get what you are, what you're going for. You have to have that assurance, that applied faith, which means that you are walking towards it, you're moving towards it. And in order for you to move towards it, you have to demonstrate self-control to deny yourself the things that need to be denied, but to go get and do the things that need to be done. So hey, let's go out and get it done.